Well, here we are. We're ready for part 2. We are going to be moving into things that you need to know about the King's Speech. It's all about the King's Speech, actually. And we can't go into everything because there were 39 bills, okay, that ministers want to pass. And when we say pass, we don't know which orifice it's coming out of. It's as simple as that.
That's a lot of bills. Was there any bends? Sorry, another dad one there.
Another dad
Certainly
joke.
a lot of schlobber-lobber-lob.
Well, it was. And let's just say that he didn't look too happy, Charles, when he was in there. He got a bit annoyed with the boys that were holding his cape a little bit. Got a bit annoyed. But
Well, it would have done, because that was a film that's outshone him anyway, isn't it? The King's Speech. That was a cracking film, apparently. I haven't seen that. But he won't be happy with that because he's been put down again.
Put down. I never noticed when they said he's got sausage fingers. He really does have fat fingers. I mean, they really are fat, and that's an indication that there's something wrong there. Anyway, okay, so going on to the King's Speech. Here's some simple things. Question. What did it mean to you, Mark, the King's Speech?
Not a lot, really. A little bit vague again, wasn't it? Well, we're going to go through some of the stuff, but I think the majority of it was socialist claptrap, which, let's face it, never ends in tears, does it?
Well, the socialist claptrap that you're referring to is it's going to focus on creating wealth in every corner of the country and improving the living standards of working people. What are working people?
Oh, they asked Keir Starmer this, and he said, people who work and that. So that cleared it up. Then tomorrow he'll change his mind. He'll go, them unemployed people, innit? Well, and then the day after that, it'll be people who work part-time. I don't know. He doesn't know. So how are we meant to know?
Well, and tough new spending bills? All right, come on. Be honest. I mean, have they been left a crap deal by the Conservatives?
A little bit. But I was on the socialist claptrap I was on about. So it's the new socialist state-owned energy investment. So,
God, yeah.
Controlling the means of production.
Under the banner, kickstart economic growth.
I mean, okay, the commies want to control the means of production. What can go wrong? The water special measures bill.
Trevor's just given a look of complete disdain when you said that.
Well, I agree that these water companies should be held liable. But I don't know about the boss personally. That's risky, because are you going to get people then not wanting to be bosses and run companies and invest money in case they all go to jail if something goes wrong?
Well, taking about 20 million in payoffs for doing absolutely nothing.
Well, that was the next bit that I do agree with, because they want to stop the bonuses and stuff like that, which is kind of, let's face it, those bonuses cannot be paid if a company's do up to this. I don't know about holding them personally liable, and then you've got the railway services socialist bill. So, well, guess what? They're going to seize the means of production. Sorry, they're going to renationalise nearly all passenger rail. So, what can go wrong? Well, this is mostly energy, and I'll finish, then we'll move to something else.
I actually do agree with them nationalising rail, because if they do, then they're going to be stripping Khan of his ability to control TfL.
Yes, but seizing the means of production is socialism. But anyway, the Better Buses bill will allow a wider range of local leaders to waste more money on electric buses, blah, 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 while they all cry about poverty in food banks. So you can see what the agenda is here with the energy bit, can't you? But
well, let's just sum a few of them up. Kickstart economic growth. Now, that's like a sort of a very bland statement. But Labour want to make sure that nobody can play fast and loose with public finances. Shit. I mean, right. Okay. So how are they going to actually achieve that? Which leaves families with spiraling bills. Well, okay. What are they going to do? Are they going to take the Bank of England in hand? Are they going to take the City of London in hand? What are they going to do there?
Oh, no. I know what they're going to do. I've got it written. Tax and spending. The Budget Responsibility Bill will ensure official forecasts have to be taken place ahead of budgets. So the globalists are now openly saying they're going to have control of our economy. At least they used to pretend and hide it, like. and just make it was advice.
Well, I thought there was a whisper that they're going to give the OBR more powers.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do, because they're going to take every little bit of all the forecast, and then they're just going to go, well, that's what we're doing then.
Okay, well, the other thing, we're going to get building. Oh, sorry, we're going to get Britain building. We haven't got enough Polish people in the country, though. That's the problem. But we're going to get Britain building. What do you think of that, Gaz?
I'm just waiting to get this section of the podcast over myself, because let's just run a year. Let's just run a year, and then we'll have another podcast, because it's absolute bobbins. So the nationalising.
You mean bollocks? Is that the word? Bobbins is your euphemism for bollocks.
Yes, it's absolute bobbins, right? They're already what's it called? Bringing back the buses. They're bringing back the railways. They're bringing back into
public ownership. Yeah,
they nationalise into public ownership. They'll bring back the waters. They're like King Canute, actually. Yeah, so let's just see it unfold. It isn't going to happen. People are not going to let them do it. It's as simple as that. The powers that be, they're not the powers that be. They can babble on all they want. It ain't going to happen. They might bring, all right, they'll bring the trains back into ownership once the contracts run out. Yeah, of course they will. But it's just hot air, a lot of it. Just give it a year, and then we'll have another podcast, and we'll be belly laughing at what's going on.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a great one for Statsman. Make work pay.
Well, can I just go back to the housing one? Because they're pretending they're going to build houses quicker than Usain Bolt can run the 100 meters by changing some rules, yeah?
822 houses a day.
Yeah. Okay, same target as the fake cons. Remember them?
Yeah.
Remember them fake cons? Remember them?
So how many have they actually built then? Because they've been in now for 3 weeks. That's 21 days. So how many houses have they built?
We should actually check on the number. 821 a day.
A day? Right, well, let's see how many houses he built.
821 a day. Well, I'll do some maths.
Go on, do some maths.
Do some maths, right, for the last 3 weeks. So that's how many they've already built.
So it was 831 a day. And how many days did you say they've been in?
821 a day.
21. Okay.
And they've been in what? 21 days they've been in. I mean, I've already bought 3 of the houses because I've got them rented out as Airbnbs.
Oh, well, that's all right then, because there's 17,241. I'll take your 3 off. Oh, they're flying if they built that many in 21 days. We're sound, aren't we? I'll have 3 as well, please.
We're moving.
And we've just moved out of the holiday hotel at Woolston. We've just moved 72 occupants, and they're living in the houses.
So everybody's got 17,000. How many?
17,241 houses he should have built by now.
Oh, those are going to be HMOs. Affordable HMOs. That means affordable housing for immigrants and asylum seekers. Straight away.
Building a house means just sticking a few partition walls in and making a couple more rooms.
That's it. That's it.
That's okay.
Houses of multiple overseas. That's what they're known as.
Indeed. Right. Making work pay. Our employment rights bill is a significant step towards delivering the government's plan to make work pay. The biggest upgrade to workers' rights in a generation. Yeah. Really? They're going to ban exploitative 0-hours contracts and fire and rehire, and introduce basic employment rights from day one.
Well, they're already on day 21, so that must have been implemented by now then.
Yep. And make sure that the minimum wage is a genuine living wage. So how is it going to be a genuine living wage for our old age pensioners if
that's me,
the triple lock is going to be capped until what date, Trevor?
2028 at the moment.
Okay. So, and at that point, 2028, nobody is going to get a rise in the tax threshold.
No.
It's as simple as that. So you're going to get increases, but those increases on your pension are going to be taxed. That's clever, isn't it?
Yes.
There you go. Thank you.
And every single person who will be going on to this actual living wage, what they're talking about, at I think, was it something like £11 an hour, is it, Mark? I don't know what the minimum wage is at the moment.
Go ahead, Mark.
Don't know, pass on that one. Yeah.
You're an employer?
No, I'm employed.
Oh, sorry.
I wish it was. the race equality bill. This comes under employment. More cultural Marxist claptrap will extend the right to make equal pay claims under the Equality Act to ethnic minority workers and disabled people. How the hell are they going to do this? What does that even mean?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Is that you telling me there's people who do the same jobs who've got different tone of skin colour are getting paid different money? Or am I now going to get the same wages as, I don't know, NBA basketballers or the Premier League players who are black? Is that how it's going to work?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Look forward to that.
Well, I think it might be like an Uber worker. If you ask him to explain it, it's like, what is a woman? You know, he's going to struggle with that as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because basically, a woman is a man without a cock. That's the way I look at it. That's a woman. But obviously, he's not going to say that type of thing on TV. I mean, I'd put it clearly. A woman is a man without a cock.
Come on, we got to get through these. Hand back power to communities. New legislation will help to create wealth in every community and hand back power to local leaders. So that's going to be the local gangs, the people that are going out and stealing from the stores regularly, because it's a business.
It's going to mean more mayors, isn't it? More mayors and more power to them to abuse. Brilliant.
So the King of the North will be flying on that one, won't he? Andy Burnham, he'll love that one.
He will.
The King of the North, bend the knee. Provide better transport. We'll put our rail system back on track with new laws to deliver for passengers.
Back on track? That was clever, that, Jonathan.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah. New laws will improve the railways by reforming rail franchising, establishing the Great British Railways, and bringing train operators into public ownership. There you go.
What's going to happen when the population keeps increasing? Then we need even more trains and even more infrastructure, and they can't keep up.
I think they're going to allow us to do what they do in India and Pakistan, and we're going to be able to sit on top of the trains as we go.
Well, that's probably the only option.
And hang from the sides of them.
Yeah. That's probably the only option, mate, because when we touch on migration in a minute, you'll find out why.
Okay, well, here we go. Make Britain a clean energy superpower. We're committed to making Britain a clean energy superpower by 2030, helping lower household bills for good over time. This new bill will set up Great British Energy, a publicly owned clean power company that will help boost energy security, create jobs, and build supply chains in every corner of the UK. Where do they get the people to write this crap?
I know, the same people who wrote Hitler's crap. So what, are they going to copy their cousins, the National Socialists, and they're just going to walk in and take over all these companies, are they? Yeah?
Just
going to walk in and take them over, yeah?
Just one quick question as well. Why the hell is Keir Starmer flying all over Britain in a private jet?
You know, there's loads of them now. Champagne socialists.
He's building a green company. He's going to make Britain great again.
Yep.
Right? No. But he's flying around everywhere in a private jet.
Yep.
Hypocrite. The bloke's a hypocrite.
Yep. There you go. Okay, next one. Strengthen our border. The government will strengthen the border with a new bill that modernizes the asylum and immigration system, including launching a new border security command. The command will deploy more police and investigators to smash the criminal smuggling gangs, tackling the problem at source. Well, he's already sent over 84 million somewhere to start doing that. But anyway, the bill will give law enforcement new enhanced counter-terror style powers to destroy the evil business model of human trafficking. What about that one? Go ahead, Mark.
What does it say about closing the borders? Oh, that's right. Nothing. It's just smash the gangs. Well, I'm sorry, but we all seen here on a punch bag, and he couldn't smash his way out of a wet paper bag, so it's not happening, is it?
And also, you've got 1,200 that's come in since he's been in...
Indeed.
In wherever he's been.
In number 10.
His private jet.
Didn't they send a boat back?
Supposedly.
So it is possible to send the boat back.
I think that was a mistake. Somebody got the wrong message in authority.
Either that or we're getting a far-right Labour government.
And I'll tell you what, that won't happen again. You can pack that in.
Far-right Labour government.
Yeah, sending the boats back. All right, they sent one boat back. Then the next day, they sent a yacht over that they'd stolen with like hundreds of people on. So that didn't really work, did it?
Well, how about this one then?
Swap you this dinghy for a yacht. Okay.
How about this one? Take back our streets. That's a good one to tell them in Leeds. We're taking back our streets as the police run away from the riots. Take back our streets. The government will strengthen the border with a new bill that modernizes the asylum and immigration. Oh, sorry, I was going back to the other one. Right? Take back our streets. We'll introduce laws to strengthen community policing, giving the police greater powers to deal with antisocial behavior and strengthen support for victims. New laws will improve the safety and security of public venues and help keep the public safe from terrorism. And we will bring forward plans to halve violence against women and girls. Well, what about, tell that to that Liverpudlian woman that was arrested for her own good. Arrested. They should have actually turned around to the rest of the room and said, right, if you're going to cause any problems here, the batons come out and somebody's going to get their head cracked. That's it. Get out the way. Come on, Mark. You're sitting there incredulous.
God help me. So they're going to tackle antisocial behaviour, a bit like multicultural riots, you mean? How are they going to tackle that? By telling the police to run away?
Correct.
And then arrest 5 people.
And one of them a woman trying to protect her property.
Well, there's a point. Have they arrested 2 people for speaking out? Are they on the 5? Because then they've only arrested 3. Or are they extra?
I don't know.
Are they not counting that?
I know, you're the stats man. You're the man with the figures. You give it out.
They don't tell you that.
I also seen a video where the police were saying to 2 blokes, can you stay in your houses, please? Can you go home?
Jesus.
The copper said, can you go home, please? Not like, get home now while you're arrested. Can you go home, please?
That's telling them, isn't it? Didn't stop it,
indeed. Okay, how about this one?
There'll be no more riots now.
Break down barriers to opportunity. We'll take action to raise educational standards. This is the king. He's turning around. My government will take action to raise educational standards and break down barriers to opportunity. Well, that's good, isn't it? Coming from one of the richest men in the country, if not the world. We'll take down barriers. I know I've got nothing against the king, but I mean, to hear a government talking like that, it isn't going to work. This includes measures to help people back into employment after the pandemic and a bill to raise standards in education and promote children's well-being. We'll end tax breaks for private schools, funding 6,500 new teachers, and set up Skills England. To make sure that we have the highly trained workforce that England needs. Go ahead, Mark.
Sorry, I went to interrupt. I thought you'd finished then. So they're going to protect children's what? Their welfare, are they?
Correct.
Okay, so their draft convention practices bill, whatever it's called, draft conversion practices bill introduces restrictions on abusive practices intending to change people's sexual orientation or gender. So if a child doesn't want to identify as a donkey anymore, can the pronoun he or not get any counselling then? God, honestly, it doesn't half wire me up, this.
How about improving the NHS? Our government will take steps to improve the National Health Service for everyone, including reducing waiting times and focusing on prevention. We'll improve mental health provision for young people and make sure it's given the same attention and focus as physical health, and we will modernise the Mental Health Act so it is fit for the 21st century, ensuring all patients are treated with dignity and respect. Well, in some ways, I think the patients have taken over the asylum Parliament, because I don't think they got a hope in hell of actually doing anything with that unless they actually realistically do something quite savage with the management at the NHS, because I think that's where the problems lie. Go ahead. Anybody else want to comment on that?
I think we all know the answer to that. Are they going to get rid of all the administration at the top? The £200,000 plus jobs that these managers are on? No. They're not going to get rid of that. Well, they're going to let it run as it is normally. They're going to give the rest of them 5.4%, was it? They're offering them or something like that. They will pay that. I mean, this is up at the air at the minute as we make this podcast, but Rachel Reeves, she will give them 5.4% to get them off their backs in the first year. But let's come back. We'll make a podcast. We'll do a special on the first 100 days, and then we'll analyse it. That's what we'll do.
We'll have another laugh.
The first 100 days to see what they've actually achieved. And if Mark can just sit down and then work out the amount of houses that should have been built in the first 100 days.
So I can do that right now.
That's where we start. That's where we start.
Still got my calculator open. So that'll be 82,100. You shouldn't even need a calculator for that, really, but I did.
Well,
I just realised after doing the sum, oh, hang on, I could have just done that in my head.
The one that I want to mention is when it was a bit of a misnomer when they say the English devolution bill. So you were beginning to think, hey, England is going to get its own parliament like Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland. No, not a chance. The new bill will phase out, certain things that are going on in the House of Lords, but basically it'll transfer more powers to elected mayors in combined council areas. So England does not get a separate parliament. They're absolutely full of crap when they're actually putting that out and saying, this is what's going to happen. But the point I want to make now is what wasn't included that they've been going on about. There's not a specific bill mentioned on regulating artificial intelligence. There's no specific bill for that. Now, there has to be a reason for that because it's being assessed. It's being assessed.
Probably 39's enough for now, isn't it? Oh, my neck. I remember the police were complaining about the Conservatives because they just put that many laws in. They they couldn't keep up with it all. God, wait for this.
But just listen to this. Yeah. They're going to bring in, this is what they're telling, they're going to bring in appropriate legislation to regulate the most powerful AI models. What about the other AI models? I mean, you really, really don't know what these AI models are capable of. They are really, really good. And if anybody is using them, they'll know and they can see the possibilities. The other thing is they didn't bring in legislation to scrap the 2-child benefit cap introduced in 2016, despite all the pressure that's come from outside from different campaigners, etc., etc. They didn't bring in a bill to reduce the voting age to 16, but Labour says it is still on the cards.
Of course it is.
And the other one was legislation to reduce the retirement age in the House of Lords to 80, with ministers saying the bill to remove hereditary peers would be the first step in wider reform of the upper chamber. And no legislation was referenced on social care amid reports that the government is planning a cross-party review on reform options.
Yeah. Now, John, they want to be able to keep blaming the fake cons. Remember them? They want to be able to keep blaming them for it, don't they?
Correct.
But the funny thing is apart from all the socialist nonsense, they're like the fake cons in disguise here. Ban smoking. What else are they going to do? Oh, the commies are coming for football. That should wake some sheep up, shouldn't it?
Yep.
An armed forces commissioner. Didn't we kind of have someone like that already?
Well, that's going to be part of the strategic defence review, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Well,
lots to look forward to then, eh?
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to call it there. We've gone through the King's speech. Is anybody really, really impressed with what's gone on?
No. The King, again, has trampled on his oath and is ready to introduce what sounds like the beginnings of a socialist utopia. So I can't wait.
That's if any of it comes about. I'd like to see the proof of the pudding before the eating. Thank you. Because I've not seen anything. All I'm hearing is jam tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing from these people.
Totally agree with you. It's just a load of ranting, isn't it?
And promises. This
is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do.
Indeed. Are you coughing there?
Do it quietly.
Have I got it?
He's all right. He just needs a swig of Peroni. He'll be all right. Look, see. There you go. He's better now.
Are you feeling better now, sir?
That works a treat, that. It's only a little drip, but it's like honey.
Yeah.
It's actually Belgian honey. Called Stella Artois.
did you put the Peroni on your expenses? Did you put it down there?
I can't mention that actually because they've got to go in tomorrow, so I've got to be very careful at this stage.
Yeah, don't put it all down.
No, I'm just going back to our breaking batty NHS news.
I thought
earlier on.
I thought you were going to put down like sort of your expenses, like everybody, like 5 million. Okay, and it was you were sending Peroni to Reform UK to help them out.
Yes, this has been discussed, but I mean, this is going to be at this is national level, and I can't go into that again.
I'm calling the Sunday Mirror.
It doesn't
You
matter.
white supremacist, you.
That wet wipe's already been dealt with, so we've not got an issue with the Sunday Mirror anymore. And we're going back to the NHS, actually. I got breaking news earlier on, as we came on a podcast, that a man has been admitted to hospital today with 25 plastic toy horses inserted in his bottom. Now, I have not got a clue where that's come about, but anyway, the doctors, they've had a look at him and they've described his condition as stable. Now, just to finish off, the wife crashed a car again today. And she told the police the man that she collided with was on his mobile phone and he was drinking a can of beer. And the police said he can do what he wants to do in his own living room. Just to get that cleared up.
Good, that's man finally finished.
Yeah, I've got a question. How does a non-binary kill another non-binary?
I give in.
They/them.
Oh, dear.
Better than the dad one, wasn't it?